Good evening, dear students and all the subscriber. I am once again on YouTube, and after a long time, I have been back to YouTube with my videos on civil engineering's different aspects of civil engineering as a student and as a practicing civil engineers. So, I would like to tell you that today we'll learn something about the execution practices, civil engineering execution practices. Before that, I would like to remind you that during our study process, we study the structural analysis and structural design in civil engineering. These are the very important subject we study till 7th semester, till advanced structural design. And in this structural analysis and structural design, I am talking about all the frame structure when we study, and all the frames when we analyze, which is structural analysis. So I am talking about that, and it is very interesting subject in civil engineering practices. It is a subject where both student and student can get into that subject, and they can score very good marks if one is strong in that area. But being a civil engineer, all the student must need to study structural analysis and structural design very nicely, because it is a subject where you won't get much deviations while working. So yeah, so I'll come back directly on the execution aspect of civil engineering, especially in building construction, residential projects, mass housing projects, then the commercial projects, then we have hospitality projects mainly, and we have institutional hubs. So there are mass practices where one can not think of mastering into it, but yes, one can be good at practicing, and that is all in civil engineering. Once if you are good for doing the project, then you are suitable for every places. The difference is not much. The only difference is the analysis and design part of the different projects, as well as the finishing part of the projects. Rest all things are the same. The basic idea, the basic engineering behind these projects are same. That is not changed. Now, coming back to the execution practices, I'll try to keep this video as very concise and compact. Coming back to the execution aspects, the civil engineering practices in constructing the residential projects, as well as mass housing projects, as well as commercial projects, then the hospitality project, then we have institutional hubs, then hotels. So talking about these projects, we have three different, right from the scratch. When we have I'll tell you, after the land is purchased for the construction, there are 7 steps how that land is being made available for residential project or any other projects, especially in building construction. There are 7 steps which is being cleared from the Urban Development Authority. Before that, when the land is purchased, there is a mutation of the land. Then land is taken. Then the second step is applying for the concept approval of the land. In that we need to submit the architectural concept of what are the construction, what are the land used, and that is being submitted to Urban Development Authority. Then the Urban Development Authority return back those with their comments. If it is okay, they return back, and then they normally what happens is they return back in most of the cases, because when architect do make it, they are very expert in making those drawings for clearances from the Urban Development Authority. So it is very handy for them to make such drawings, and that is not a big issue at all. Then we have different level of approvals, that which is CLU. CLU is
Here's a result from the web.
CLU is nothing but change for land use that is being done, because mostly when the land is purchased, it is a agricultural land, and there is a master zoning, master program, a master plan is being made by Urban Development Authority in most of the cases. So master plan is being made. In that master plan, the master plan is made for next 20 years by Urban Development Authority. In that they mention each and every area, how the land is being attributed to different construction activities. Even the infrastructural project like metro and the bridge and flyover, those things are also there. The road constructions, those are also there in that master plan zoning. It is master plan zoning basically. So that is made, and that makes the construction promoters very handy for them to apply for the land use. So that is done, and when that is done, then the platform is clear for the next level of construction. Now the first step of the construction is for a students. One, I'd like to tell you, for a student as well as the person who purchased this land, we have FAR. FAR is nothing but floor area ratio. In that floor area ratio, we have certain land on which the licenses is being taken from the Urban Development Authority. So how much quantity of construction can be done on that? Like what are the numbers of construction, number of built up area especially can be done on that. So that is very handy for learning before practicing the execution practices. Student as well as the person who purchases the project byproducts like the apartment, the flats, the shops in commercial hub as well as the offices space. So that is very, very important. So when that is done, then there is nothing much hype about that. One can go directly into that. And FAR is nothing but floor area ratio. It is like if the land licenses being taken, if it is taken on 10 acres, there are certain FARs of every master planning zone, of every urban development area. Like when we talk about any Delhi NCR, in Delhi NCR we have three master urban development authority. One is there in Gurgaon, one is there in Delhi, one is there in Noida, and one is there in Ghaziabad. So these are the basics I'm talking about. So depending upon, because the extension of NCR, Delhi NCR is now spreading across. So whatever cities it will go, every city has its own urban development authority. So that they prepare those master plan zoning. They prepare their FARs. Every urban development authority has their own master planning and FARs. FAR is always changed. FAR in every city is different than every city. One cannot assume that if FAR in Delhi in the residential project is 1.89 or 2.10, that means that 2.10 is there in Noida and Ghaziabad. No, that is not there. So one must be conversant with that. Then the student must be expert in interpreting the IS code, that is Bureau of Indian Standard Codes of Civil Engineering Practices, because that is very mandatory. While execution, while doing the structural work, you may need it at many places. So you may not be dependent every time on architect or a structural designer. Whatever practicing BIS gives us, we have to go according to that only. So one must be conversant with that, and mostly sometime I have seen the person who is executing the practices, they become dependent mainly on these structural analysis and structural design part, mainly on a structural designer of the project. So every time talking with the structural designer do not make sense. You must inform him that what decision you have taken, that is based on this IS code, IS 800 or ISP 16 or IS 456, any clause, what it says, what 17 clause says, what 18 clause says, what 19 clause is there, what 20 clause is there, what 21, what table 8 is there, what table 9 is there. So one must be, have a routine practices on those things. That will make you more apt in choosing for any work you like to. And once if you are aware about that, if you are alert in that area, alertness is very much required for everyone, every practicing student who, I'm telling you practicing student because many undergraduate students, when they pass out from engineering college, they work for 3-4 years, then they go back to do their MTech programs, master programs. Then sometime out of those, very few students goes for PhD. So that is good. Studying is good thing, because up till 30-31 year if you studies, after that the temperament people have very less to study more and more above that age. So it is good to study before 30 years whatever you want to study. That is, I think, coming back on the FAR. When FAR is done, you must go through the building codes, the relevant building codes, which is also very much mandatory to know before going back to the practicing the execution practices. You must need it daily, like you need it. You need food to survive. In that way only you need these building codes also to survive in these industries, because it will make you more apt in going bit further forward. So that is you must not take it for granted. That is there. So coming back to FAR, I will now like to stop this video. I will like to stop this video, and rest from FAR I will discuss in next video when I will be uploading. Thank you very much. Have a nice time ahead. Goodbye.